Hey guys, let's get more news about Dallas, but first, don't forget to subscribe and leave your like. Cowboys' Dak Prescott hits back at Jerry Jones over free agency. For Cowboys quarterback Dak Prescott, 2024 has been something of a wild year. Personally, he got engaged to be married and also locked up a $240 million four-year contract with Dallas, making him the highest-paid player in NFL history. But on the field, 2024 has been a disaster, with Prescott coming off a 2023 in which he was the MVP runner-up and logged a passer rating of 105.9, leading the NFL with 36 touchdown passes and logging only 9 interceptions. Prescott and the Cowboys went just 3-5 in his 8 games, with 11 touchdowns and 8 interceptions, posting a rating of just 86.0. Now, he has a devastating hamstring injury that will keep him out for the season, and has forced the team to turn to backup Cooper Rush. The Cowboys are just 5-7 on the year, clinging to the slimmest of playoff hopes. One of the issues that the team had this offseason was an unwillingness to bring in free agents to man key positions, especially as the Cowboys lost several important pieces, including 5 starters. The team attempted to replace them with retreads and rookies, and the results have been disastrous. Team owner/GM Jerry Jones has cried poverty over those situations, claiming he could not sign layers because the team needed to give Prescott his big contract, as well as pay star receiver CeeDee Lamb. One player in particular was running back Derrick Henry. Jones has whined about the salary cap in general, but said of Henry, "We couldn't afford Derrick Henry." Next year, the Cowboys will have to pay pass rusher Micah Parsons, too, leading to further worry that the Cowboys' stars will chew up so much salary cap that Dallas won't be able to pay free agents in 2025 either. But Prescott hit back at the notion that Jones has been pushing, that the Cowboys can't do much because they need to pay their stars. While that is true, plenty of other very good teams are paying stars, too. NFL teams routinely skirt salary cap rules by restructuring contracts that allow the team to push salary into the future so they can sign players in the present. And Prescott says he is all for that, if Jones wants to pay another big-time free agent. "Yeah, I don't think my contract is going to withhold us from making any moves or doing anything that we need to in free agency," Prescott told CBS Sports on Tuesday. However, if that big chess piece or big piece comes up, that will require that or does require that, yeah, the way that my contract is structured and the way that I believe in this team, I don't think that would be a problem at all to move things around to make that happen. Of course, the Cowboys could have signed Prescott earlier this offseason. He did not get his new deal until the day of the season opener, which would have allowed them to tinker with his contract structure and free up space to sign more players. But that's not how Jones chose to operate. Jimmy Johnson drops wisdom on Cowboys. Jimmy Johnson was dropping wisdom on Cowboys Nation over the holiday weekend. In the pregame leading up to the Cowboys' 27-20 win over the Giants, Johnson dropped this after picking the Cowboys to win. "They won last week, they're gonna win today," Johnson said. "Then they're going to win the next 2 games." After a pause, making everyone in the studio believe he was going to predict a charge to the playoffs, he added, "and give their fans a lot of false hope." Ouch. But coach is right. Even if Dallas claws their way back to 7-7, they will be hard-pressed to win 2 of their last 3 games. That's assuming 9-8 would get them into the playoffs. A little later, Johnson commented on the huge mistake Jerry Jones made by extending Dak Prescott this year. Johnson said he would have made Prescott play out the year. If Prescott had won the Super Bowl, he wasn't going anywhere. That's when you pay him $60 million. If he has a bad year, you can negotiate. If he gets hurt, you bid him farewell. That was the correct play, but Jones didn't make it. And now Dallas has a big headache going forward. Unfortunately, what happens in Football Fight Club doesn't stay in Football Fight Club. Over the holiday weekend, in both college and pro football, there was a lot of fighting. It's like a lot of these guys didn't get any pumpkin pie or something. Most of the gridiron fisticuffs involved victorious visiting teams attempting to plant their team's flag in the home team's midfield. A stupid thing to do. An even dumber thing to fight over. But fight they did, and the main event proved to be up in Columbus, Ohio, on Saturday. The Michigan Wolverines upset then number 2 Ohio State, 13-10, giving the Wolverines their 4th straight win over their bitter rivals. After the game, several Michigan players went to plant their flag at midfield. Several Ohio State players objected. Ding, ding. Fights on. By the time order was restored, police had deployed pepper spray to convince the participants to find something better to do. A wall of officers was formed at the 50-yard line to separate the two sides. Michigan running back Khalil Mullings summed it up best after the fight ended. "You hate to see stuff like that after the game. It's just bad for the sport, bad for CFB," Mullings said. "They gotta learn how to lose, man. You can't be fighting. Here, young man." Too bad some NFL players didn't hear what he had to say. The Washington Commanders jumped out to an early lead on Tennessee, and tempers flared into a mini-brawl that was quickly broken up. A fight between the Houston Texans and Jacksonville Jaguars took a little longer to bring to a halt. It also ended with 2 players being ejected. Jags quarterback Trevor Lawrence was hit late after he started to slide, sparking the fight. At least there was some small justification for the Texans to start throwing hands in this case. Mike McCarthy responds to Dak Prescott's comments about Cowboys' future. The conversation surrounding Dallas Cowboys head coach Mike McCarthy has shifted drastically. Entering the year, many considered McCarthy to be a lame duck head coach. Just a few weeks ago, Cowboys owner Jerry Jones criticized the team's play calling and offensive schemes during a radio appearance. This week, with the team on a 2-game winning streak, he refused to close the door on a potential contract extension for McCarthy. Then, star quarterback Dak Prescott campaigned for McCarthy to get another shot during an interview with Yahoo Sports. One of the interesting parts of Prescott's comments was the signal caller saying McCarthy deserved an opportunity to coach this team amongst more influence. On his terms. On his terms was perceived by many to be a jab at Jerry Jones. McCarthy was asked about Prescott's comments on Wednesday and shared his thoughts on what the star quarterback had to say. When asked about the "on his terms" comment, McCarthy downplayed the idea that he did not have direct influence. An endorsement from Dak Prescott could go a very long way with Jerry Jones, so if the Cowboys can string together a few more wins, the head coaching drama is going to be at an all-time high. There will be plenty of high-profile coaching candidates this offseason, but the Cowboys could end up staying away from the market, something no one would have ever fathomed in early November. And you, fan? What do you think of the situation of Mike McCarthy? Leave your opinion in the comments.